Hey, what's up? Welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make a program in Python. We'll be using PySimple as our GUI, graphical user interface, uh, producing library. And the program is going to be a palindrome program. Pretty much, it's going to determine if a word is the same spelled forward and backwards. A very simple program. The whole goal of this program is to help you understand the concepts of using PySimple functions and creating a graphical user interface in PySimple. So first things first, I'm using Visual Studio Code as my editor. I say that in every video because that's just my favorite code editor. You don't have to use that, but that's just what I prefer. You're going to create a folder, and we're going to name this folder Palindrome Project. Or you can just put, project. You're going to go into your code editor or your integrated development environment, and you're going to click Open Folder, and you're going to select the Palindrome project. You're going to hit Select Folder. Once we've done that, we are now going to create a virtual environment. The virtual environment pretty much isolates everything that we do in this program, whether we're installing libraries, the code itself, into a separate environment that's not globally installed into our computer. So to do that, we're going to say, I'm using Windows. It might be different for your computer. If you're using like a Mac, just Google search how to create a virtual environment, and it should, excuse me, tell you. So it's going to be python-m vemb IENV. My ENV stands for my environment. You get the include package, lib library package, or folder, scripts, and pyvemb.cfg. We need to let the terminal load real quick, and then we will activate the environment. Okay, to activate your environment, you're going to say myenv slash scripts with a capital S slash, and then you're going to say activate. Once you get that myenv in the green parentheses at the bottom, it lets you know that your environment's activated. Now in our environment, we're going to create a file, and we're going to name that file palindrome.py. We're going to import PySimple. If I remember correctly, PySimple should be automatically installed in Python. If not, you can just go down here and hit pip install. I'm pretty sure it's automatically installed, but just to be safe, we'll just double check to make sure. Nope. Okay, so go down in your terminal and type in pip install PySimple. I must have got that confused because I know with like tkinter, you don't have to pip install it. It's already installed in the code editor. Now we're going to define our function, and this function will check if a word is a palindrome. I'm going to say define is palindrome. I'm going to say word equals word dot replace double quotation, comma, double quotations, period, lower. And what we did just there, that is going to remove spaces and convert the word to all lowercase. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to check now if the word is the same forward and backward. So we'll say return word equal word colon dash one. Remember, this is right here, this -1 is determining the position of the last letter in the word. Remember, in Python, the first letter in a string is going to be, the first index is going to be 0, not 1. So if it's -1, it's the last letter. It goes all the way in the last letter of the string. So it will pick up the whole entire word. Now we're going to create our GUI and we're going to set the theme for it. SG theme, and we're going to say, let's go to light gray. Now that we've done that, we're going to define the layout of the GUI. And once again, GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. I'm going to say layout equals text. I'm going to say enter a word or phrase. Say SG input text. And say key equal input underscore word. Make sure you put a comma at the end. Next, we're going to define the button. We're going to say SG button, and it's going to check. The button is going to be checked. And this is when we click that button, it's going to check to see if the word is a palindrome. And we're also going to create a button that will exit us out of the program once we are done. So you put that comma at the end. And then we're going to do last one. We're going to say SG text. And we're going to define the text size now. I'm going to say size equal to 30, 2. I'm going to say key output message. And this will output the message whether it's a palindrome or not. Now that we've defined the layout of the GUI, now we're going to create the window that's going to display the layout or define the layout. So we'll say this, or here we don't have to use all that, to say create the PySimple GUI window with the defined layout. And then we're going to say window, if I can type, window equals SG window. For that second window, the W is capitalized. Capitalization is very important. Or, excuse me, a palindrome checker. This is pretty much for setting up the title for the program. And now we're going to create a while loop, and this is our event loop. And as long as this, well, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but pretty much a while loop is while this remains true in the program, this will continue to happen. The program will keep running. But the moment it becomes false, then the program will stop running. So we're going to say this will start the event loop to handle user interactions. So we'll say while true, we'll say event values. So we're saying while the event values are true equals window, read. And then we're going to create a comment that says for our next block of code, which will exit the program if the window is closed, or exit button is clicked. So this is the conditional statement that will close the program if the window is closed or if we click the exit button. So we're going to create our event if event equals sg win close or event exit, and we're going to say break. So this is the terms of what will cause our program to shut off. Next, we're going to get the user input from the input field. We're going to say input underscore word equals values. I'm going to say input word. And now we're going to create our if-else conditional statements, pretty much determining the input of the word. So if the user puts in a word that's a palindrome, it will display that it's a palindrome. If the user puts in a word that's not a palindrome, then the graphical user interface will display in text saying that it's not a palindrome. And if the user doesn't put anything in it, then it will also display an error pop-up. So we're going to say if input underscore word, and we will say this will call, we'll create a comment, we'll say this will call the is palindrome function to check if input is a palindrome. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to say if is underscore palindrome, and this is the input word the user will put in. If the word they put in is a palindrome, then the program will do this. We'll say update the output message if the input is a palindrome. We don't want that underscore. And we'll say the window. We're going to say output message. We're going to have the output message update. Update F format. The input word is a palindrome. Make sure that you're using a single quotation mark at the end. Why am I getting an error? Let's double check real quick. There has to be a reason why I have that red error. Update. Oh, makes sense. Forgot the quotation mark up there. So you're going to have a single quotation mark, then right here, you're going to have double quotation marks. And the reason why that's an issue is because, like, say I have just double quotation marks. I just want to show you real quick so you can see it's an error because then it's not picking up um, the whole line of code right here. It's only picking up from here to here because that double quotation mark only recognizes that double quotation mark as the close. So that's why we want to have the single quotation mark, because it recognizes all of this plus the end line of code. So it completes the block of code. So now that we have our if condition set up, now we're going to move on to our else. And this is the if the person puts in the information and doesn't line up with the if conditional statement, then the program will go the else route, which is the alternative route. So we go, whoops, I don't know why I dropped all over there. So we're going to say update the output message if the input is not a palindrome. So it's going to display the message differently if it's not a palindrome. It's going to say to the user, the word you put in is not a palindrome. So I'm going to say output message. I'm going to say update. Into the F string format, make sure you do a single quotation mark and a double quotation mark. And you're going to do brackets, which is going to be the input word, whatever that user puts in. And then we're going to say mark, I'm going to say is not a palindrome. Hit enter. And then if it's not a palindrome, then we're going to also want the program to display a error pop-up screen, and we'll say show an error pop-up if the user input is empty. So if it's not a palindrome, it will display not a palindrome, and then if the user doesn't put anything in, then the program will let the user know, hey, you did not put in any information, please put something in. Put a word in. Pop-up error. I'm going to say, please enter a word or phrase. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, I'm in the wrong block. I'm going to bring all this back. Why are we still getting this error? What's going on here? Oh, you know what? There we go. Sometimes I just let it update. And then close the Pi simple GUI window and the event loop closes. So remember what the condition, or ends. Remember what the condition is for the program then if the user hits the exit button or if they close the window. And this is what this last little piece of code is going to do. Window, close. And we're going to hit file, save, and we're going to run it. Let's clear down here, clear our terminal, hit the run button. No module name PySimple GUI. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Why is that? Maybe I didn't PySimple GUI. I thought I pipped install PySimple. Let me double check. Pip install PySimple G. Nope. Once again, prime example why capitalization or important. So the import PySimple GUI, that whole GUI thing has to be capitalized. See, when I don't have it capitalized, then the program sees it as meaning something totally different. So let's see. Still, no module named PySimple GUI. Why is that happening? Okay, let's try something else. Let's pip install. So probably what happened was I didn't type in the GUI all caps. Okay, see, it's installing. Successfully installed. Now let's run it. It should work. Okay. Line 9. Oh, did you mean theme? Yes. Okay, where do we go? Kind of ran through this program kind of quick. On a small scale, it's not a big deal, but it's always good to double check your work, especially if you're building on like a bigger scale. Like this is not a huge deal because we can just scroll down. We only have like maybe 20, 30 lines of code. And there you go. Now we have a graphical user interface. We are now going to type in words to see if they are a palindrome. So we're going to say dark, check. Dark is not a palindrome. Let's check walk. Not a palindrome. Now let's check level. Level is a palindrome because it's spelled the same way as forward and backwards. And then hit our exit button. And there you go. The program is complete. Sorry about the little errors I made earlier. I hope this helped you guys out. If I offered you any value, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more of my YouTube videos. Thank you.